Sometimes I like to fight bears shirtless, the way the gods intended.
And welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. I'm Old Man Ben. I'll be driving the Nightmare Train tonight here in beautiful downtown Athens, joined every week by our man up north in Toronto's land. That is Sex Appeal Swang. You know him.
Sex Appeal.
And staying up late past his way. Wait, Jordan, come here. Come here. Jordan. Wait, don't look. Don't look. I don't think that's Pedro. I don't think that's Pedro, dude.
Yeah, I know. I got I got like Pedro too.
Oh. Not Pedro Mateus. Instead, that is, you know him, you love him, Samber Lamps himself, Sandy Martin.
What's up?
He's Sandrew Matheson.
Yes, Sandrew Matheson. Sandrew Calrissian.
Coming to you right outside of the Linus Tech Tips headquarters, 6 hours away. And together with you, Shot Realm Dynamic, helping us form Cocaine Voltron. What's up? What's new? Gentlemen, I got a thought experiment for you. We're all familiar with, like, if you slap somebody or if you punch them in the nose, that's assault. It is. Can we agree on that? Yeah,
yep.
Sure.
Yep.
Base rules right there.
Technically, I believe it's battery. Assault is like the threat of violence.
Threat of violence. All right, we'll say battery. Like if you flick somebody in the ear, battery. Get me thinking. We all know about face palming. We've all face palmed, right? We're like, God damn it,
yes.
You dumbass motherfucker. Do you think that would hold up in court? Trying to get somebody for battery. They were like, they made me face palm hard enough to where I hit myself and injured a part of my head organ.
Now, if
Your Honor, I may be a simple country lawyer.
Now, hear me out. Hear me out.
We got this going on.
This man grabbed my arm and then forced it into my forehead very, very rapidly.
Using his witchcraft and telekinesis.
Maybe it could have also been a string. Could have been like a marionette situation where he's got like some sort of evil marionette contraption a la the Monarch. Mm-hmm. And yeah. There are several situations in which you can be forced to slap yourself in the face and because someone else made you do it. Yeah.
Listen, my argument is
it might take some engineering.
If you hear such stupidity to the levels where you're smacking yourself to such a degree, I would consider that assault from the other person.
All right.
Now, would you take the other side of that? Where like, no, this man is clearly insane. He's being incensed by minor social discomfort and is now assaulting himself. He must be restrained for his own safety and for the safety of others.
One could claim madness, yes, but I here am just a simple country chicken, so I don't know much about the laws.
I'm sorry, I thought you was corn.
I'm sorry, I thought you was corn.
It's gonna be one of those shows tonight, everybody. What's new with you, Jordan? You got a green screen holder?
I do have a green screen holder. I've had it for like a couple weeks now. I finally got it out of the box.
How did you end up with that? Was that just like an impulse buy, or?
Kind of. The auction site I'm on
that
I get periodically has like wholesale stuff, and they're like, yeah, green screen holders, $20, and I'm like, okay, I got $20, yeah. Right. So I grabbed one of those. Now it's just like fucking, it's minus 10 and it's all nice and icy. I had a impromptu skating appointment this afternoon while walking the dog.
That's why you chilled out a little bit. Bust your ass, huh?
No, I didn't slip and fall, caught myself. But it's one of those
Did you actually like go whoop 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 out loud?
Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. Nope. No,
right.
I did not quite curly. Unfortunately. But I don't know, it's that we don't usually get this cold this time of year in Ontario. Usually it's a little later in January. So yeah, it's like proper fucking Canadian winter. A little early.
Dude, I hadn't even tasted that. I had the windows open like on Tuesday. I was like, warm, man.
Sandy, you're in Manitoba, right?
No, I'm in Alberta now.
Okay.
Southwestern Alberta.
It was adorable in the pre-super shows. And, go listen to that if you're a patron. Sandy was trying to give me some Canadian geography, and I'm like, homie, Toronto. What direction do we go from Toronto? I got Toronto in my head now. I know where it's at.
So what are you in like Drumheller or like Lethbridge or something or?
I'm closer to Lethbridge. So I'm west of Lethbridge. I'm literally at the border of BC and Alberta.
Okay, all right. You're on.
I'm in the Rockies, baby.
You didn't go to Vulcan, Alberta, so you can live next to the giant fucking Enterprise that's rotting and like looks all sad and dilapidated now.
Yeah. I saw that actually the other week. I was like, oh my god.
I had to drive. When I was driving to and from Calgary to Lethbridge for university, I would drive past that all the time. My point is, you've probably gotten dumped on quite a bit, haven't you?
Oh man, we got a good dumping. We probably had it was 3 feet of snow, and now most of it's melted because it's kind of warmed up a bit. We're down to at least 10 centimeters now. So that's shrunk quite a bit. Metrics, man. Metrics. Yeah, it's pretty awesome out here.
What else you been up to, Sandro?
You know what? Now that I am a full-time homeowner now.
Yeah.
Been doing a lot of walking, hiking in the woods.
I just like the idea of a part-time homeowner. You just like show up at somebody's house like, this is mine for Tuesday.
It's like a timeshare, right?
Yeah.
But instead of Tuesday, it's mine.
It's part-time.
Instead of calling yourself a timeshare owner, you're just like, yeah, I'm a part-time homeowner.
Part-time.
Yeah, part-time homeowner.
Contract homeowner.
That totally works.
Homeowner for hire, dude. Like, yeah,
means I rent. Yeah, I'm a contract homeowner.
Contract. If you know who to call, and you can find them.
Yeah, no, I do a lot of hikes out here now. Sometimes I like to fight bears shirtless. You know, the way the gods intended. Mostly black bears. You know.
Why are you bothering those poor hairy men?
Yeah.
What did they ever do to you?
Listen, they came on.
He paid good money to get
on
into
my front lawn, man.
Yeah.
I don't take that from black bears.
Black bears are like the nice bears and by that I mean they're not fucking grizzlies that'll just like one-shot you.
No, absolutely. The black bears actually hang out around town, whereas like the brown bears are deeper in the mountains, and they're like, just please walk our way, please.
Yeah, the brown bears are the don't fuck around with those. Yeah, they will just murder and eat you for fun.
Who do you think would win in a ice skating battle and skate off to the death? Jordan, the horse, or one of those bears that would eat you?
I think definitely one of those bears. They got beauty, they got grace, they got style all over your face. It's the Steam
Linux update of the week. Look at all that energy we got pumping out tonight, man.
Woo!
People have awake, man. Let's talk about this,
Flair.
motherfuckers. Valve is going to put SteamOS on something that's just not a Steam Deck. And we talked about it last week. From The Verge, of all places. Actually, The Verge has been reporting like halfway decent reporters recently.
Wow.
Like I said last week, everybody, a Steam button 100% guarantees that it's got SteamOS on it. No exceptions. I might have said the exact opposite of that. However, it does look like the Legion Go S will be shipping with SteamOS. Either that or old Pierre-Loup Greffas is going to be on stage with Lenovo at CES to do nothing more than break dance.
Wait, so this is the one that, oh yeah, that is the Switch-like one. Okay, I'm an idiot.
What the hell's going on with these controllers?
I don't know.
Does it got like a controller stand? I guess you could put those.
If you charge
joystick?
them. Well, yeah, no, because the Switch controllers charge off of the main console, so I guess if you want to like have it separate, I don't know.
But I want to believe like this is a mini disc slot right here on the side. I know it's not.
Oh my god,
right?
No, it's a one of those CF cards, like the old big flash cards you put. Yeah,
right.
Or the zip drive cards.
No, what do you call it? One of the Microsoft Xbox wonks is also going to be on stage.
Click drive,
yeah.
Click drive.
Click drive, that's it.
Yes. No, it's just a magnetic tape slot. You just got to like put in your Eiffel 65 tape, and yes. No, but like so one of the Microsoft wonks is also going to be on there as well. I think that Lenovo is probably going to try to like position this as like, however you want to play your games, you can do it on the Lenovo Legion Go S or whatever. And it could also be that like, yeah, Microsoft is going to be on there via just like Xbox Live. It's like, yes, and also Xbox support for SteamOS so that you can play your Microsoft Game Pass games via your Steam, or I guess your Legion Go in this case.
We're replacing the Xbox with SteamOS.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as Microsoft's getting their $10 a month, they don't really care, right?
Microsoft is going to release their own handheld.
But doesn't
they say that, but we'll see.
But doesn't a lot of the Xbox Live games, don't they already work with like the Game Pass stuff already work with SteamOS?
I believe it's unofficial, right? Like you need to install you need to install like the Edge flat pack, and like from that you can get into Microsoft has a guide at Microsoft from Microsoft on how to get it running on your Steam Deck. So yes.
Like,
so maybe this will like be a more formal partnership, like, hey, sort of like a EA Play with Steam, right? Where like it's more directly integrated into the Steam client.
Yes, that would be nice.
Oh, like it's good to see. I think we're going to be seeing like this is going to be the big one, and we're all still going to be sitting around being on like, where can we go download this?
I'm still holding out for the Claw 2.
The Claw.
You know, emphasize everybody else is upset. They're like, how did Lenovo get this?
Right?
Yeah.
Like what?
Right. Yeah,
but we do get some Steam updates.
Oh yeah, it's a huge update. In fact, I would say it's the update of the year.
I mean, it really says that. Update of the year.
It's like Linux update of the year, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 5 fucking things too.
Yeah, the Steam Deck beta client just got the biggest. They say it's the biggest update of the year. Like you get a bunch of updates for what was it? Support for the 8-bit Duo Ultimate 2C, which I've never actually tried out that controller, so I would definitely like to see more support for this bad boy here on for the Steam Deck.
Getting ready for Virtuous Fighter, Sandy.
Yeah. Hells yeah. Hells yeah. But yeah, but I did see for the list of fixes that there was the Linux kernel CVE 2024 589. Now, like I'm not sure. Was that the vulnerability that was like touted back in like August or something like that? That was for the Linux kernel.
I don't know. I haven't had to like look up MITRE or stuff on MITRE-DB in a while.
Oh yeah.
I have my patching automated like a good system administrator.
Like
but no, but yeah, I don't know. They gotta like validate and trickle down these security fixes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think five kind of implies like middle of the year because the CVs are like date coded.
I mean, you really have to worry. I mean, it's Steam. It's not like it's spacing the web.
Well, yeah, right. Yeah, it doesn't have access to your credit card at all. No.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, apparently the Hori Pad, you know, that controller that they're marketing in Japan for Steam, they had a little sensitivity issue, a little grip issue that got resolved. At least they got it caught before more of these things got out into the general public. Also, no more spoopy eyes in the new Indiana Jones games, which I was watching Jesse Cox play through that. It looks pretty fun. It looks like a straight up Indiana Jones adventure.
I'm definitely gonna wait until that game is on sale.
I mean,
a little more.
Yeah. It's by the Wolfenstein guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's from Machine Games, which them making something that isn't entertaining, even if it's something that I'm not interested in, would be hard for them to do. Because, the Wolfenstein series, if you haven't played that, that's the best fucking indie film made in the last decade.
Oh, like, yes.
That's just a wild adventure. So I would say good on them. Get that update. Now, it is award season. Everybody's patting themselves on the back, and you got to think about, we had the Game Awards, which were 90% decided by judges and 10% decided by also judges, but they told you had 10% in.
It was the flute guy.
Yeah.
that's who it was.
Flute guy. We got the 2024 Steam Award business going on. We got the nominees in, so we got the who are we going to vote for? Is it going to be Balatro all the way down this year, Jordan?
Yeah, a lot of it seems to be Balatro. I gave Mouthwashing a vote for I think it was best horror game.
That was a weird one.
Yeah,
Sandy, you noted Stalkers on their Eurojank simulator, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
I already have a couple buddies that are already on it, which that game just recently released. So, I'm very surprised how quick that got onto the Steam Awards.
Yeah, Hades 2 got a nod, Baldur's Gate 3 for Labor of Love. Yeah.
Dota 2, No Man's Skis. Let's see, best game on Steam Deck award, Balatro.
Balatro is the answer,
Balatro.
yes.
Oh, man. Let's see, what a God of War, Hades, Survivor.
Hades is a good follow-up. Yeah, Rogue Trader.
Mm-hmm.
They're best with friends with Helldivers.
Oh, Helldivers. I thought that was most fucked up game by Sony in 2024.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Sons of the Forest.
Palworld.
Satisfactory. Palworld, yeah. Space people were into Space Marine
Lawsuit
as well.
Simulator.
Yeah. Hey, I threw in a vote for Hades for best outstanding visual style because that game is horny as hell, man. It's great. Metaphor also has great fucking visuals on it as well.
Not Hollow Knight. Yeah, Nine Souls. Yeah. This is up on there. Innovative. Balatro again.
Yes, Balatro. Helldivers, I don't think it's super innovative, but it was a good combination of stuff.
Liar's Bar was at least fun to watch.
Never
yes,
watched
100%.
Yeah, it's
Satisfactory is for those habitual organizers.
So sort of like a buckshot roulette.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. Wukong. I think anything Wukong's in, it's just going to win. Yeah. So we can best soundtrack. Huh. Horizon Ginger Turbo.
I would give
Dead.
that to Metaphor. Honestly, Metaphor has a really good soundtrack.
Really,
it's not on here.
I've heard Frostpunk 2 has a really good soundtrack as well.
Red Dead, the game that's been out for fucking 6 years or whatever,
just came out.
Yeah.
There's Mouthwashing.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. Go sit back and relax. It's the cozy games. I've seen some streamer I normally watch places.
Tiny Glade was the one I threw a vote for.
TCG Card Shop Simulator.
I was talking to my friend who works at a card shop, and she was playing Card Shop Simulator. And I walked up to her the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, so I was playing IRL Card Shop Simulator." She's like, "It's actually very similar to working at a card shop." It's like, why do you do this in your free time?
100%. It just the only thing you're lacking is smell-o-vision.
Jordan, some people have their dream job.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like the long haul truckers who go home and then log on to your American Truck Simulator.
I've seen that in our gaming. They have their fucking clip-on wheel in their passenger seat set up to play more Truck Simulator when they're not driving.
So some people have an illness. Also, I looked up the name of the flute guy from the Game Awards because it was bothering me.
Okay.
His name is also Pedro Eustache.
Pedro's here in spirit.
Yeah,
yes,
the cooler Pedro. We couldn't get Pedro Pascal. We couldn't get Pedro Eustache. We got Pedro Mateus. Yeah. No, we don't even have that. We have Sandy Martin.
A bunch of Stalker too. Sandy, have you ever gotten into Stalker? I've never. I know Stalker exists, and I also know that's what I understood of Stalker was. I confused it with that other game that had all the cheating issues. The other Euro game.
Arma.
No.
Fuck. That game. Everybody knows what I'm talking about with that wiggle cheat.
Yeah. What wasn't that Arma? Or
no.
Or was it Tarkov?
Tarkov. Yeah.
Tarkov.
Yes, I couldn't think of that for some freaking reason. A lot of the shooting is similar to Tarkov in terms of the gameplay style. They recently, so before. Stalker has always been a single player game, but it's recently with Stalker 2, and a lot of the mods for the original Stalker, people have made multiplayer mods. This one is the actual first one that is trying to do like Stalker with multiplayer. So like there's a lot of like anomalies, like you'll have like controllers that manipulate people, like they're almost like mind flares. And yeah, like it's all because of this irradiated Chernobyl, and it's like this alternate timeline.
So my exposure to Stalker was like the original film, which is what the game is based off of, which is based further more on a book actually.
Oh man,
yeah, it's kind of like a Metro situation where there's like several pieces of media, and Stalker is just the latest adaptation of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. People seem to like it, I guess. So it's
yeah. Go in, get your votes in.
Huge following.
Do it. Now we all get might be a little bit of exciting. Might be for me. It was like kind of depressing bit of news.
Mostly depressing for me.
In our inbox, the Steam replay for 2024. What you got, Sandy? Hang your head in shame or celebrate.
Well, okay. So I got an excuse for the Steam replays, the year in review. Listen, I know it shows that I played Final Fantasy 14. I only did it because I promised and I lost a bet that I would play Final Fantasy 14.
Isn't that right, other Sandy?
Listen, we're all crack whores here, Sandy. We're all crack whores here. It's fine.
All right, here's Ultimore. Let's see here, man. 76 games, 169 nice achievements, 52% keyboard, 48 controller. Okay. Final Fantasy XCOM Power World. All right.
Yeah.
25%. Your release is way better than me, dude. You like the MMORPG, farm simming, loot, battle royale with crafting elements. All right. Interesting genre. XCOM, gonna give it to you. What was your final? It's just all Final Fantasy and Power World. Oh man, January was a moment for you, huh?
Oh, dude, like we were going hard on Power World when that first released, or the first beta released.
Are you get into Helldivers for a minute?
Oh yeah. Well, I go in every so often just to see the latest missions. And
you're
one
of the long-suffering people with momentary crippling addictions to Stardew. Okay.
It's all about the mods. I'm all about the mods for Stardew.
What month did you move?
May.
All right, just curious.
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Can you tell?
Mine. Let's see. I got 70 games in, 22 with a keyboard and mouse. I've been going hard with the controller, man. I've noticed that about myself. Pretty much a lot of Trackmania. And I tried to play this for a while, and Immortals Phoenix Rising, and a little bit of Just Cause. I had a little addiction to that for a moment. Only 4% new releases over here, though, man. What am I into? Racing, post-apocalyptic racing beat-em-ups with a heavy emphasis on tanks.
I got the America in mind too, because we were playing Broforce.
Broforce, yeah. Immortals Phoenix Rising. This was a great game right until I hit a wall. Just Cause, great fucking round simulator. I talked about it during the show. This, well, that was November for me, man. I got all the way through it. And, you know, I had my Darksiders moment, and I finally beat that goddamn game. And, yeah, what did I play? May, June, yeah. I played the most. What did I play the most? Oh, just a lot of Trackmania, because we do Trackmania on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, no big surprises. Pit of Goblin is in top 5. Yeah, we played that once, dude. Fuck off, Steam. A lot of the normal. Did you get any big surprises in here, Jordan?
No, not really. Like you, it was a lot disappointing. I have less free time than you considerably, and yeah, it was just very much the stuff that I was playing on Thursdays, the stuff that I was playing on the weekends with you guys. And and I have a big gap because I was doing a bunch of stuff. I was doing a bunch of free games on the Epic Store for a while, so I have a bunch of stuff not tracked in there.
Yeah, how much like gaming time do you think you get in? Because I know like outside of like streaming for Trackmania, I probably do good if I get like 35, maybe an hour in every week.
Yeah, for me, it's basically like when I stream is basically when I have time to play games. Sometimes I'll have like a couple of moments here or there with some friends, but like yeah, I had a very small sliver of time on mine on the Steam Deck, and I'm like, I should use that more. I bought that fucker for a reason, and I used it pretty heavily in the first year. But then I got the 7800 XT, and I'm like,
yeah,
me definitely a lot. I'd probably say once supper is done, like once I'm done making supper, and I'm done catching up on my YouTube stories, I find like I'm gaming right away. Like, so, and I'm probably going until, like, especially on my Dreamcast 2 that I built, I'm probably going till like, I'd probably say 11 o'clock, and then I'm winding down and watching some probably Futurama or Star Trek to wind down.
See, I'm always like looking for something because I want the one game that, because even how I play games now, like I don't, there's no like gaming sessions anymore outside of like if I'm streaming something, which is usually Trackmania. It's such a weird requirement. I need something I can pop in, play for 10 or 15 minutes, and pop out of to like get my time in. But yeah, what was like the last game?
JRPGs are like that for me.
Okay. Like, what was the last thing that you binged? I asked Jordan this, and we all had to like roll back in our memories. But what was the last game that you spent like, let's say, 8 hours playing throughout a day this week?
XCOM.
Yeah. Do you Iron Man that one? Are you on that
of course.
train? Yeah. Okay.
And not only that, I also add the mods where it's like all new units that I'm fighting.
The Long War or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience. I don't like building my sandcastle and then having it knocked over and then just building my sandcastle again. Can't take that punishment.
Like getting punched in the balls. I like getting punched in the balls. And the maximum amount of hardness possible.
What's up next? Proton. You might have heard of Proton. It lets you play a couple of those Windows titles on your Steam machine. Basically, that's how we play games.
Your Alienware Steam machine.
Fuck yeah.
Right, Sandy?
Falcon Northwest, baby.
Yeah.
Bit of a changelog. One thing that caught my eye in this latest Proton experimental update is a couple of fixes for VR stuff, which basically just means we have right here on the show confirmed the Deckard is coming out tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Some media source implementation fixes, and of course your standard roll-up of DXVK, NV API, VKD, 3D, Proton, all that up to speed. Nothing groundbreaking in here, but it's always good.
Neo, Final Fantasy 14, and Atri, My Dear Moments, which is a visual novel. I thought it might be a hentai game. It's not. And Evocron Legacy, are the games that got like specific fixes. But yeah, as Ben said, it's just sort of the roundup of like DXVK, D9VK, or VKD3D, all that stuff, all scooped together in a lovely smoothie of making your games
fun. What are you talking about? Your EAC overlay hack?
Yeah, at first I was curious, and then the way they worded it were like, we ran a hack for the Steam overlay to work with EAC. It's like, what?
So
the whole problem is with a lot of the EAC games, especially the online ones, i.e. Squad is one that I've played before. There's a problem with the Steam overlay. When you open up the Steam overlay, it just almost grinds the game to a halt. Because I don't know, it's something to do with
Linux
EAC interacting with the Steam overlay. So yeah, it's
filthy Linux user. Yep. Shut it down. Close it. He's hacking.
Yeah, he's hacking. Goddamn filthy. But Squad, funny enough, though the devs for that were always, I would say they were the first ones to push for EAC to function on Linux under Proton. Because like they were the first ones to actually do workarounds where you had to do you had to copy the EAC key that would generate when the game launched. And then you would have to move it to this folder and then set the folder to read only, just so that way it wouldn't boot you out.
We've all had to deal with that fucking file at one point, right? Maybe not a folder, but definitely that fucking file. You're like, quit changing the thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the biggest issue.
The INI file that updates when you start the game.
Yeah,
no, stop that. Set it to reload only, and then the game crashes.
And usually, exactly. Like you're negotiating. You're like, we're done. Like, what's gonna happen now? Fight me.
Exactly. So yeah, that game was the first one. As soon as you click the button for Proton support, they were the first ones to do that. So you didn't have to do that workaround anymore. Right. So that was awesome. And then it was weird that they had like I seen on the list for a lot of the fixes, Hell Let Loose. It no longer crashes when loading into a match. I was like, what? I didn't even know that was a fucking thing. I was like, this is crazy.
Oh, what? You could never get into a match?
No, I always got into a match. Like the crashes were completely random, though.
Oh. So it looks like Hell Let Tight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not as tight as those chests.
There's nothing worse than like random crashes, dude.
Yeah, those are the worst.
For no reason. And you go to Proton DB and they're like, yeah, it just randomly crashes. Like
random crashes right at the end of the boss fight, and you're like, we're done.
Huh.
Yeah.
we're not doing this again.
Yeah, we're out.
I'm not doing this.
That was a fun game, you guys. Bye-bye.
Couple of new games this week, starting with Ducks.
Dino Duck Dash.
From the Paleozoic era.
Yes. Yeah, Dino Duck Dash is an interesting looking game. It's a 2D high score multiplayer runner that you can. It's mostly meant as PvP, and I guess there's some co-op to this. I don't know how, but this is nightmare fuel. The auto scrolling is just, oh my god, I hate auto scroll. Like it's Super Mario Brothers 3.
Everybody's favorite levels are auto scrolling levels. When we were growing up, they're like, damn it, why aren't all these auto scrolling levels?
The underwater levels in Super Mario Land for the Game Boy.
Oh my
god.
That shit's nightmare fuel.
As you graze the fish.
Fucking bloopers.
That tree looks pretty cool. Yeah, it has online multiplayer, which is like, again, we really have to shout this out. Yeah. Time and time again. A lot of these really fun looking multiplayer games come out like, you can play it over remote play, and it's not an acceptable substitute for like in-game online multiplayer, which this one seems to offer, hopefully. So yeah, looks good.
I'm down with it.
I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Price to sell too, man. And like this thing's like $3.
Yeah.
Currently 20% off during the winter sale. So yeah.
Grab a couple copies for your friends. Right. Do some scrolls.
So our next title. Every now and then you just see a game. Then you're like, that don't look like what it says in the thumbnail. What? Let me go click on the store page, see what's going on. And you run across some bullshit like this. And you're like, wait a minute, this is a golf game? All right.
No, according to the description, this is not a game about mini golf.
Clearly a mini golf game. It says mini golf, just to make sure, just in case you were just like, really? They're like, oh yes, golf twice. It's mini golf.
The planets are in turmoil. You have no chance to survive. Make your time.
So what is it? It's a storytelling experience. It goes beyond the lanes, and there's also mini golf in it. Yeah, look at that. Mini golf. I don't know. This just struck me as like, this is clearly going to be up to some shit. Like you were saying, not mini golf related, but I'm down for it. You know, time travel, sci-fi, mystery exploration, also mini golf. Hello there. And I'm sure there's just going to be some WTF in here, right?
Yeah, no, you really want to take about 2 or 3 tabs of acid before you play this game.
I like games like that when you're like, what the fuck? All right, sure, let's go. Let's just take a ride. It's that like 5 a.m. you're high off your ass. Adult Swim has like fucking Too Many Cooks starts playing. You're like, what am I watching? That's the experience that you're gonna get here.
100%.
I'm here for it. The machine, your future, and like sure. Let's go.
The transformation thing just reminded me of an unrelated anecdote. I was in like a Korean store at like a mall the other day. And they have like the knockoff toys, and they had like Transformers, except they were called Deformers.
Oh man, you should have got some. Now, to like get you in the right headspace, like Steam says this is going to be similar to Gone Home and Soma, both of which are, Gone Home was a great game until you get to the end.
Yeah, it did not stick the landing.
No, it did not. Soma was a fun game. If you just once you get tired of the annoying robots, which there's a mod that just disables those so you can experience the story, and you're like, all right.
Yeah, Soma was really better as like just a straight sci-fi story than it was a horror game.
Right. It's like action elements. And I'm like, you guys aren't great at doing that.
No.
Like, stick with the, better be afraid, not seen. It was like a machine for pigs, even though the Chinese room did that one.
Oh, that game was so broken.
It was, but like, it was still very effective until like it broke and one of the pigs was like just stuck out in the light, and I'm like, I've been running from that shit. Yeah, whatever.
Or you watch the speed run. It's like, yeah, just walk into this closet, fall off the map to the actual place you need to go.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, all right.
Right.
That's easy. Okay.
Yeah. So $12.99. If you want to grab it, pick it up. Put it on your wish list. Give it a like. I like people trying weird shit, man, and this looks like some well done weird shit. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a couple pieces of news to close out the
now,
year.
Why did I think about this? Well, I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, like, because you got that Logitech wireless keyboard, right?
Yeah, you might have a few of these guys lying around.
I do not, and I was in the market for one.
Or more importantly, you may have a couple of these lying around with their corresponding peripherals that no longer work. And you might think to yourself, man, is there anything I can do about that? And there's a utility under Linux called Solaar that will help you repair them. I found out about them I found out about this utility because I was setting up Debian on a work machine, and there's like a little hardware helper package that you could install. And I figured, okay, I'm not super used to using Debian. Maybe there's like a package. Maybe it'll like help me install the firmware stuff that's missing, because I know Debian likes to segregate that stuff out. And I plugged into my Logitech peripheral, and it's like, hey, we have a piece of software for you. It's called Solaar. And I launched it, and I went, oh, that's neat. This lets you fuck around with Logitech peripherals. And yeah, that is what we're going to talk about right now. If you have one of these unifying receivers, you can repair it to a couple other peripherals. You can use it to repair the peripherals to other ones. And if you have just a regular wired Logitech mice, multiple mice plugged into your computer,
you can make it go nope.
Yeah, you can reprogram it as well if you are so inclined. So it's a neat little utility. It's good. It only really works for Logitech mice, but odds are you have some Logitech peripherals lying around. They're cheap. Yeah. They're pretty ubiquitous. You may not have even purchased them. Someone may have just given them to you from your work or your school or whatever, right?
I thought it was a good thing. I wanted to share it with everybody because, you might have one of those. And like, especially if you still got, Sandy, you got like the gaming PC on the couch thing going on, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have something like this.
Luckily, my dongle still works, but I'm definitely going to be giving this a download.
At your age, that's something to brag about.
Yeah. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
It's that high in the zinc diet.
Heavy dongle usage. Yeah, go check it out. Solar. GitHub. It's in just about every repo. Yeah. So if you got a couch gaming experience or just a bunch of Logitech shit laying around on your gaming PC or PCs in general, give it a look.
It's great also if you have a lot of Logitech wireless peripherals and you want to like collapse down to just like one receiver handle.
Yes. That's really good.
Do you think we can make like a wireless receiver router? No, a switch.
No, network attached storage over.
I don't know, dude. I put it.
You posted the floppy RAID.
Yes,
right?
I did. Our Discord earlier this week from like 2002. Somebody like made a USB.
I remember doing that with thumb drives. Yeah, I'm just like, this is neat. All right.
Damn. All right. I respect it. I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's something we can all agree on. Let's have a nice laid back conversation. Something I saw on PC Gamer. I saw Sandra was going to be joining us this week. I'm like, all right. I'm sure everybody's got something to say on this topic.
Oh yeah, I've been having multiple slap fights about this, just unrelated, outside of this whole thing. And I saw it pop in, and I'm like, my real life is bleeding into this fucking podcast. Yeah. So this is an article from PC Gamer, and they pose the question to a couple of folks: what is an action RPG, anyways? Because a lot of folks associate RPGs with like a specific set of mechanics or aesthetics or tropes or whatever. And as game genres progress and things tend to like blend together, maybe some of these labels aren't super applicable or don't mean the same thing to people. that it does to other people. So I'm gonna let you guys go first before I go and shove my head all the way up my ass. I have a spiel, so
all right. Well, Sandy's already chilled out. You've calmed down.
Yeah. Now that I've calmed down after reading this, I was like, oh, trying to blend. So the problem was it felt more like an overgeneralization of just the action RPG genre, like because one of the things that they talked about was like how Mass Effect and Final Fantasy 16, you know, like were Final Fantasy 16 being one of those action RPGs, and I'm like, there's no mechanics in there. Like, how can you define it as an RPG when it's? I get it. Like, some people like don't understand what RPGs are, and so they're trying to come up with new ways and titles of like how they can understand it. And I get it. Things are changing, and the genre is changing. But like a lot of the core ideas of what makes an RPG are still there, even in today's standards of gaming. So it's like you can't.
So, yeah, break it down like you know.
It's very vibes based, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like this is subjective, like a motherfucker. Like no matter how you want to roll it, dude. And like I don't even look for like RPG or action RPG. I look for. You can tell by the thumbnail, like, what am I going to be doing? Then I find myself looking for like story rich. That's got to be. I don't care if it's RPG, action RPG. You got to give me a good story. Because RPG with action, bit of story, that's what I want to get into. And like those are the games I think about when I think about action RPGs. I'm talking about like Bayonetta, the modern Tomb Raiders, Horizon Zero Dawn, The Last of Us, stuff like that. I'm like, that's my jam. That's the type of game I was talking about earlier that I can sit down, pop in, play around, get a little bit of story. Give me some shit to do though, you know, give me some challenge there where I'm not just like waiting on things to happen. And I see they bring up Diablo. Diablo's a looter shooter. Bite me. A little bit of story tacked onto it for your looter shooters. Like people with addictions play Diablo, dude. Like that's what they do. I watch them on Twitch and I'm like, all right, sure, story. Plenty of story there. Then again, I do consider Dark Souls a rhythm game and nothing more. No.
Yeah. All right. Here's my spiel.
Jordan has blissfully just blocked out everything that we've talked about, but he's been waited his turn.
No, so here's the thing. Everything is an RPG if you pretend hard enough. Literally, that's how it fucking works. And I think people get like really, really precious about genres. As a metal fan, oh boy, do you listen to technical death metal? Do you listen to technical blast beat blackened thrash core?
Dude, I was having this conversation last night. I walk away from nerds with that shit. Like I'll have a comic book conversation with some motherfuckers right until the word durability shows up. Then I'm like, later guys, I'm out. I'm here to have a fun conversation. You guys are going to get into some weeds.
My asshole. But yeah, so like. So here's the deal. Literally any game where you assume the role of a character is a role-playing game. You can conflate it with a story-focused game, but in reality, the real meat of a role-playing experience is the emergent narrative of you, the player, making decisions for someone who isn't your like immediate meat human self right here, right now. Everything else is literally just an abstraction to allow you to like assume that role and do the stuff that they're supposed to be doing in a game. When you're playing Doom, no one expects you to be able to pick up a fucking BFG and kill demons and dodge every bullet. That's unreasonable for you, a regular meat human, to do.
Wait a minute, so you're saying we need dodge roll in Doom?
We do have dodge roll in Doom. But like for Doom guy...
I want the screen to spitter out though.
Yeah, like
like the old Batman thing.
CSS
like,
to a barrel. Yeah. You know what? One day that's what we're gonna get for the new Doom game. But yeah, like Doom guy. But to that point, Doom guy can do that because that is the role that you're playing. Half-Life is an amazing role playing game because at no point are you lose control of Gordon aside from like when Gordon is physically rendered unconscious and moved by another human being. Yeah, all of these systems are just ways to get you in the role. Stat sheets, dialogue trees, experience points, marginally improving equipment, bare sex scenes. They're all just a means to an end to get you to put you in that cockpit. Now, when you talk about like action games, yeah, I think action games and RPGs have kind of merged, or I mean, ultimately action games are role-playing games. When you're Mario, you're taking on the role of Mario trying to rescue the princess, right? There's not really a story there. The experience is the emergence narrative of you going through all the various obstacles and accomplishing that. That is the meat. That is what people hook into. And action games are leaning into that because that's how you get people engaged. You give people a sense of progression. You give people a sense of that sort of narrative arc that they can experience as they play that role. So, you know, when everything is an RPG, nothing is. Sure, we probably need some material like genre barriers so that we can all be talking about the same thing, but I think people get a little bit too precious about like, oh, this is an RPG, this is not an RPG. They're all fucking RPGs to various degrees. It's all I
completely agree with you on the like, you know, everything's an RPG. Mario, the Mario Bros. RPG, 100%. Platformer, 100%. Like, but like, how deep into the weeds? And now there is a need for like some type of classification too, though. Like, you can't leave that out because when I'm perusing Steam, I'm peeking over at those tags. But I think a lot more can be said about just taking a look at some screenshots. You're like, because you're going to be able to piece together like what you're going to be into. Is this going to be isometric top down? You can click a video, take a look at it, and we live in a modern time to where ultimately, what are you going to do? You might go watch a YouTube video, watch somebody play it, then you can pop over Twitch, see somebody playing it in real time, and like, then you can make up your mind. That's where I think a lot of definitions come down to like whether or not just, do you like it? Fuck you definitions, because like I have all that information available to me right now. Why do I need all these goddamn labels?
Yes, and I think that's part of it, right? Like especially in a marketplace that's saturated.
You know, we're not at a Best Buy reading the back of the fucking box like we used to be. We're like, fuck, this is the one game I get to buy this year.
Yeah, I look for like story rich, tactical, blah 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 blah. Yeah. And I think like maybe it is
80% off.
yeah, absolutely. It needs to be 90% off. I ain't touching that shit unless it goes under $5.
I don't know. It's slim at 90. Dude.
Yeah, but I think like it might be like more linguistically inconvenient, but it might be more productive to like, you know, talk about like, yeah, this is a isometric grid based, you know, tactical game, role playing game, right?
I mean, it's good for your search.
Yeah, it's good for your search, and like I think at this point, like computer games are so sophisticated and so broad, even like within the same genre, right. even within the same specific genre, that like a lot of these labels are they're just there to give you a rough idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I give you the entirety of Yakuza.
Yeah,
pick a genre for that. Go ahead.
It's like Ulver. How can I describe it? It's music. That's about literally all I can say about it. It's music.
Notes.
Yakuza is definitely a video game. What kind of video game? It's a video game.
It's a video game.
It's a video game. You got to understand, especially when you.
It's got all of them, man. Like,
when your action. See, this is where I tapped out in that game when it turned into a real estate simulator. I'm like,
and then there's the kart racer in there and stuff like. Yeah, like
it legitimately like fucking stonewalled me. It's like, no, you cannot progress until you partake in this like real estate management simulation. And I'm like, I'm out. I can't do it anymore.
And I don't know. Maybe it's a problem with like everything needs to be expressed in terms of something else that you've heard before. It's Star Wars, but it's got furries. It's like Dark Souls, but it's like all cakes and pies. I don't like. Yeah, we're all looking for analogy, a point of comparison, so that we can have some sort of like standard to make a decision, like Ben was saying.
And Sandy, what do you think? Like, it's just a good like generalization, you know, like action RPG. What defines it? Like, yeah, we don't need to bring fucking philosophy into this shit. Just like, yeah, give me something I can like search for.
No, absolutely. Like you said, like essentially the labels that we've grown up with have essentially become tags for searching. Like that's literally what it's become. And like, because even what was it? Certain things like the director for Final Fantasy 14, He's like pretty much
Yoshi
in
P?
charge of. Yeah, Yoshi P. He hated the terminology JRPG.
Yeah,
He hated that. Whereas, to a lot of us who grew up with JRPGs, it's a term of endearment. Like,
that was the thing. There was a period where JRPG was a dirty term, and people were obsessed about like Western RPGs, like your Dragon Ages and your Mass Effects. And these tropes are superior to these tropes, and so I think at the end of the day, like the quality of the thing speaks for itself, right?
Yes.
Like back when we were reviewing games, there were a bunch of times when we would walk into something and we're like, this looks like crap, it looks lazy, but then like the core gameplay is good, and irrespective of the genre, like it gets its hooks in you. Dome Keeper, like, right? How would looking at the surface, you would not give Dome Keeper a second thought until you start playing it, and then the greed part of your brain activates, and you're like, I can get a few more reresources.
Oh yeah, it gets like highly addictive, man.
Just a couple more.
You just never know, dude. Like I'll keep dragging it out when we got sent fucking a little fucking game about a 2D platform about a bug. Like, what? Oh my god, this is beautiful.
Yeah, people get a little overly precious about genre.
Yeah, don't worry about it. At the end of the day, I mean, unless you want to have like. As you can tell, like when Jordan's thinking about this, like if you want to have that argument and conversation with your friends to kill some time, well, shit, go for it.
Yeah, 100%. That'll definitely kill a few hours.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, something we like to bring up on this show is alternate architectures.
Yay!
Yeah. Well, we talk about FX. We talk about Box 64. And we talk
about Risk.
Risky.
Oh, yes.
And we're sitting there going, where's our desktop, man? We're just waiting on that desktop PC. Come on. We don't want to buy an M1, M2, M13, whatever the hell they're at. Why? Because they're $1 billion. And you got to get, if they weren't $1 billion, we'd just go ahead and buy one and get Asahi Linux on it and just have one to play around with. Well, the ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls over at Radxa might have something for us in the works. How about some ARM v9.2? Y'all want some of that?
Oh,
I definitely want some of that.
ARM v9.2 and ARM v8.
The 0.2 and a
1.2
and a 1.
Yeah.
Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. 12 cores of straight up YOLO, up to 64 gigajoules of memory RAM. This has got 4 big cores, 4 medium cores, and 4 not so big or medium cores. Yeah, little tiny ones. Well, yeah, A720s down, and it's got 4 A520s just for the like low power standby bullshit. It's got a PCI Express slot, but it's not like a little buy one buy. No, this is full on PCI Express. What was it? Is it Gen 4?
I think it's like a by 16 lane.
Yeah, it's full by 16. Yeah. I think it's Gen 4 and ready to go. 12 megs of L3 cache across all the cores, and it's got the Immortalis G720 MC10 GPU, flagship GPU. That means it's got OpenGL, Vulkan, OpenCL. Like this thing can throw down some numbers.
It's got an NPU too if you want to throw some like TensorFlow at it.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, 30 tops on that, not too bad. It's better than like 0.08 tops of the little Raspberry Pi chip I had on the N1 X4, whatever it was. Dude, 128-bit low power DDR5, 5500 mega transfers, up to 64 gigs. We've already covered that. Bunch of video stuff. AV1, VP9.
No AV1 encode though, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unlike their original ITX form factor, by the way, this is not mini ITX form factor. It doesn't have HDMI in, but it does have DisplayPort and HDMI out, 4K 60, 4K 120. You want to throw it out, it's got it. Dual 5 gigabit Ethernet. Because fuck you, that's why. Wi-Fi 7 support. It's got a place to put a module. Here it is right here. By 16, Gen PCI 4, 8 lane. 8 lanes at Gen 4. Sitting on this bad boy. Dude, really excited about this. Really, really excited. And I know some of you are sitting around going, is that what you've been talking about for a fucking month? Yes. That's exactly what I've been talking about for a month. And I can't tell you about it. I was saying earlier in the show, this is what this feels like, huh? All right. Because I've definitely had stuff over the years. We're like, okay, we can't talk about that publicly. Barring like a meteor strike, I'll be doing a review on this guy.
Nice.
letting you know about it. Whether or not you like the way I review shit, it's definitely not like your standard tech tuber. And if you get any additional ideas, like what do you think, Jordan? What should we try to emulate? Emulators on it? Should try Steam on it?
I think we need to try running Cyberpunk on it.
Oh,
I can try Cyberpunk if you want me to.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Well. So I think the big thing that a lot of us as a gaming focused podcast, zoomed in on was that Gen 4 PCI by 16 slot. I want to cram a GPU into that. I want to see what kind of stuff you can get away with. I
think that's a good thing. I would also. Don't undersell the SoC's graphics power.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But also you can throw like a 7800 XT on that fucker.
Oh yeah.
Watch it be bottlenecked by the CPU. Yeah. I was looking at the price because you can get pre-orders now on AliExpress. 700 CAD for the top end with 64 gigs of RAM.
Yep.
The basic bitch 8 gigabyte colored one is only about $300, which is not bad for one of these boards, honestly.
No, we need to say, like, I see Doc in chat. He's like, it's an ARM board. Yeah, this is a Snapdragon core.
Yeah.
By the way.
Which also posted in our Discord. They're free to go about their merry way with that. It turns out
that was quick and succinct, brutal. They were like, yeah. They're good, Qualcomm.
Yeah, the Snapdragons are pretty goddamn powerful.
And I think it might not be in this marketing material, but I have seen it in marketing material. So this is will trade blows according to their own marketing, in case anybody from Ross is watching this, with an M1. Not an M3, but an M1. And out of the box, they currently support Debian and Fedora with upcoming support for the Ubuntu Windows.
Nice.
Now, how much would you pay?
I would pay less if it had Windows installed. they would have to give me money.
Oh, yeah, Jordan. Well, it's going to have Android support.
Okay, good.
You could run the shit out of some Android.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably Pokemon Go is like just...
I'm going to play some Fork Knife.
Yeah, Fork
Knife. 8K.
Or Zenless Zone Zero or Genshin Impact or whatever.
Right? The Genshin Impact Full Tilt.
But I'm kind of with you, Jordan.
Yeah. There's one to put on your benchmark. Can it run Genshin?
Okay. I hate you. Now I got to create a Genshin account, but I'll do it for you, my man.
Ven enters the Hoyoverse.
It will be there, man. I'm going to go beat up a space train or some shit. And
Star Rail.
This is it's called the O6, and it'll be out. Not a firm time on it, but they plan on shipping mid-February. Pre-orders were open. As with everything, you probably want to wait until, I would say, reviews come out, but me and maybe the Explaining Computers guy is going to get one. I don't know.
You sure Linus isn't going to get one?
Okay, this is going to be like the whole thing I said about the System 76, right? When they were giving out like the 128 core review units.
Yeah,
and I'm like, who reviewed them? Marketing guy from that? No one. Not only did you give him a fucking Linux machine, you gave him a fucking ARM-based Linux machine, and you sent them to like these major fucking outlets, and they went, Yeah.
They sent one to. Did they end up sending one of those to like Jeff Geerling? Because like.
Jeff had not the System 76. He had like the one directly from Ampere.
Right. Okay.
The
actual board that's shipping.
And admittedly, like I was willing to do a review, and as long as you let me keep that fucking A6000.
Yeah.
That was it. I was like, I'll take one of those. This does bring an interesting question though, because there's things I want to test on this that other people are not going to test. Like I want to see, because Blackmagic's got drivers, NVIDIA's got ARM drivers. The desktop shit is something I'm definitely going to focus on. And when it comes to like GPUs, I don't have much in the way. I got like that AMD card I bought, and I got like the Intel Arc card. Oh, I didn't tell you this. Intel told me you need a bag of dicks.
Oh, yeah. No battle mage for you.
They were good on them. They wrote me back, and they were like, "Oh, we've already sent out all the samples that we were going to know." Admittedly, I waited till like a day after it launched because I thought I was going to be able to buy one. I'm like, fuck, I can't buy one? Damn it. I shot them an email, and they're like,
please sir, may I have the
it's exactly. I was like, hear me out. Normally I wouldn't bug you, all right? But I can't even fucking buy one of these. They're like, no, we've already seeded all the reviews. And I was like, but it was a human being. And he was like, why don't you hit up all of our AIB partners? And I'll put your name, keep you in the chain for maybe the next time we do something. I'm like, all right. But have you guys, Sandy, what are your thoughts on the B580? You seen that shit? Intel's new GPU?
Oh, yeah.
It's a video card. You put it in your computer. You plug a monitor into the back of it. Yeah, it does some video shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, it definitely looks like it's worth actually picking up and like doing some
it's
actual.
It's a $250 card, man. Like, that will compete with a 4060.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the AIB partners for the 12 gigs, I laughed out loud. I looked again today. The ones that are all in stock, like Gunner and these places, they're trying to charge $360 for the 12 gig version. All the ones that are in stock, the ones that are out of stock, like the Sparkle and one from Asus that are like $260, they're gone, along with the Founders Edition. Why? Because that card only makes sense at $250. Second you get up to like $270, then you're like, might as well get a 4060.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because like still, even at the 300, still like you look most places, it's still cheaper than the 4060. You know,
but
like,
you have the added support of having like a functional GPU that you don't have the balm of paying less money for the lack of functionality.
Yes.
I think that's the main thing. If you're gonna be eating like another $20, you might as well eat another $60 and have the smoother experience.
I mean, unless you like want that. I mean, Intel's still very much like old school AMD open source drivers were back in the day. It's a project, man. Yeah, you're gonna plug it in 100%. Basic functionality, but you're gonna be playing around.
We're hearing a lot of they don't perform well on benchmarks. They perform better at 1440p than they do at 1080p. Yeah. Some weird stuff. Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, there'll be a link to everything in the show notes. You can find out more over at Radxa, and stay tuned. That and the predecessor to this, which is Rockchip based, which Rockchip is just Collaborate did a post on the Rockchip support. They're mainstreaming.
It's getting there. Not quite, but almost.
I'm just saying there's 2 ITX boards I'm going to be talking about in 2025. So
damn.
Apparently there's some U-boot issues that need to be resolved. Fucking U-boot, man.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. They're getting the V4L2 stuff, and this other board that I may or may not have has HDMI in. Which gets really interesting for replacing these boxes down here that you guys are on.
Yeah.
Considering you can power it off like a USB adapter. Fascinating.
That's pretty fucking slick.
Pretty dope.
Living in the future's weird, man.
It's strange times. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of here, if you like what we do, you want to support us, get access to our Discord, the live and uncut versions of the show, and just a gang of extra bonus thank yous. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. Link it up. Come hang out with us the other 6 days of the week. Come get in on some racing action on Tuesdays and Fridays. I host that with our Trackmania TM2 crew. Jordan's always up to something on Thursday afternoons. You might be able to pop in and join him for some furry. What's that furry game you play?
Armello.
Armello, yeah.
Oh, he's like, you gotta be more specific there.
Yeah, put a point on it. The one you stream, I'm sorry.
Not the one I have on my burner.
Yes, exactly, right. Patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. Get your name in the credits, and a big sloppy thank you from each and every one of us over here at LGC, and big round of applause for Sandy Martin for taking time out of his evening. I won't even judge that clear door handle.
Listen, everybody needs a good clear door handle from the 1920s. Okay?
I'm telling you, man.
Everyone.
And all of you joining us live over on Twitch, come check us out if you get a chance. I forgot to put in, we got a nice piece of hate mail, Jordan.
Oh no.
We got a sponsorship opportunity, like a legitimate one that somebody took the time, and it's for sex toys.
Ooh.
And it's not auto-generated spam. It's worth reading out, baby.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get to it next week.
Promote your pocket pussy.
It came with documentation and images that we probably won't be able to show here.
Does it have butt plug IO support?
Spoilers, motherfucker. All right. Time to get out of here, everybody. Let's cue the music up. You can always find us right here at 8 p.m. Twitch.tv. Look up Linux Gamecast. You'll find us doing this. A couple other things during the week if you want to get... I just finished up the Banana Pi R4. Put a preview out for my patrons over there on interfacinglinux.com. If you want a sneak peek at that, that'll be out for everybody else probably later next week when I get the write-up done. Good times if you're looking for an open WRT open source bit of hardware with dual 10 gig fiber noodles in it. It'll probably do you good. Fine. If you want to get me on social medias, I'm over on X, Blue Sky, Mastodon. We got a Facebook account. And I think that's all of them. I'm just a Vin. Just type in V with E with 2 N's. You'll find me.
If you wonder what JRPG stands for, it stands for Jordan RPG. Yeah, Jordan RPG. You can go on an adventure by following me on Blue Sky at frojo.bsky.app or at frojo@mass.linuxgamecast.com.
And if you want to find me, I'll be deep in the Genshin. Not really, but you mostly will find me on Mastodon at Altimore at mass.linuxgamecast.com.
Oh.
Yeah. There's like 15 of us on mass.linuxgamecast.com.
It's a very tiny instance, so that works out.
You can't register for it. Civic was like, that's plenty. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Any more, he's got to actually pay for that shit. So,
time for some credits. Wrong button. Last week's credits.
It's the Steam.
Damn it, you broke it.
Sunday.
Shipwreck. Take 2. Yes. Wreck ship.
Indeed. Well, we got to thank our executive producers. Our advisors first, Arthur, and then our executive producers, 1, 2, 3, 4, Ian, Eshep, Kurducky, drummer, Thatargos, Barbara, Scott, Atomic, Mike, our little Nicky fans, Eggy, Basil, MT, and Casey, and our sea monsters, Dancing Joe, John, Dirty Need, Angel, Dementor, System T, RL, Ryder, Ex Machina, Nemo, Veranuda, Trudgy, and Mike.
All of our death notes like Tara, Oil of Hope, Chad Romero, Leonardo, Chris, Jill, and Steve. How about all those chairlings? Look at them flying by like you know it.
Becca, Tim, Euthanasia.
Mazzavoni.
Get the illiterate guy to do the big list.
Jason.
Oh, I see how it is.
And Sandy, that's Sandy and Shoddy over on
that's how you do it. You just buy your way on the show.
There you go.
Just buy
That's
my
how
way
it's
on
done.
the show.
It's
Even though I'm a
tradition, all right? It's tradition. We don't judge your family. Identify everyone. We'll see you next week.
5 dudes.